In today's episode, we're going to talk about the tax code and how the government helps pay for your operational independence when you're talking about becoming energy independent. And I have the smartest CPA on the planet back to talk about it. Let's get into it. This episode is brought to you by Rife Martin CPA, where Allison Rife Martin and her team of independent money people. I'm adding extras on purpose
Okay,
because
good.
they're just amazing, right? It's tough to find the words to talk about how smart and cool your team is. Just have a
Oh my
great team.
gosh. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And we're still in the dog days of summer. And I was thinking in the last episode, you talked about putting solar panels on. This is a great way to take advantage of the sun, to harness the use of the sun to help you be again, like you say, independent from both the grid while still having a partnership with the government.
Absolutely, absolutely. I grew up watching Captain Planet. You know, I'm a '90s kid. Born in the '80s, grew up in the '90s. Captain Planet was that guy, and I'm like, yes, I'm finally realizing Captain
Oh
Planet's
my
dreams.
God.
All those lessons were not wasted. Captain Planet.
Exactly, right? Mom was right. So, oh my God.
So let's talk about the tax breaks, right? Because the thing that I like about this is what I think government should do in my opinion. Because I'm not like I'm a small government person, but I think if we translate government, like politicians, as everybody knows, I don't like politicians. I like leaders, and I respect government when they act properly because a government's job is to guide the community down the path of building what the community desires and what's helpful and beneficial to the community, right? So um, there's lots of different ways to do it, but tax incentives are a way where the government says, "Hey, it's like the body, right? The body incentivizes, uh, our system to do what maintains the body and makes it feel healthy, right? If every cell selfishly wants to live, so every cell does what it needs to keep the body healthy. It doesn't care. The cell doesn't care about me. The cells care about living, right? So tax code is a way to help individuals build what the government wants, right? And so the government says, "Hey, we need to rebuild the whole economy, right? And a civilization's, not just a community, a civilization's um, foundation is energy. And so if you expand the energy, the civilization can build more, right? Again, everything works like the body. You take care of your body, you work out, you exercise, you meditate, you make sure you don't get overstimulated, you do yoga, you move, you don't stay sedentary, your energy level goes up. It has nothing to do with your age. You don't get you don't get old and get tired because that's how it's supposed to happen. You get old and get tired because you get lazy and you stop doing shit, right?
Right.
Right. Same thing with a civilization with the thing. So you have the builders today that are expanding their energy, and now we're putting things in place to expand the energy of our community, and that allows for prosperity to flow through. Because money is just a reflection of the energy capacity of an organization. Here's my point: the tax code is incentivizing that, right? Because the people who run the government understand this is very important. So let's get into it. You're the tax expert. What kind of immediate tax breaks can a business owner grab if they invest in their own power or infrastructure today?
Well, I know that with the one big beautiful bill, we did eliminate the solar tax credits, but there are some additional tax credits out there. Again, when you're installing, I know we'll be talking about depreciation and all, but bonus depreciation would certainly help as you're installing equipment for again, for making your business grow, also to make sure that you can have the necessary resources to build your business.
Hmm.
In terms of tax credits on the solar, I, I mean, I guess I wish those had been added back in, but they weren't.
So, and what there's like a investment tax credit for like solar energy storage.
If I'm missing something, could you explain it to me? Just because I don't feel like I understand that part very well.
Yeah, and we can come back to it. I know let me say it a different way. This is what I know. So there was an incentive for individuals, that which is what went away. But as I understand it, it didn't go away for the businesses supplying it, right? Um, the businesses still get certain credits and things like that under the current model, because they
Right,
wanted to incentivize businesses to build it out because businesses were where the money was, right? So they structure it. Where's the money? The individuals, they had some, but they shift the thing to the businesses. And from a business standpoint, the way the business shifts it back to you is they offer, like for individual, it sort of now makes sense to lease under this model. So this is why you got to pay attention to the tax code. This is the wealth manager in me, right? I go,
I know.
yeah, I go,
I'm
I go, I go. It shifts, but now the business is going to give me a better deal on a lease, and they're going to maintain it, right? Because they got the reserve capacity to maintain it, which is actually better. Because I don't want to maintain the solar panels. Like if it, y'all fix the shit if it don't work, right? But it bypasses to me and lower cost, right? Depending on who you go with. Like for example, it's a controversial company, but I like them. The company, I don't care. I don't give a shit about the CEO. But Tesla will give you credits for their batteries when you install them and when you do it. So they share that credit back, which is just smart as a business if you want to gain market share, right? If you have a
yeah,
business who understands investing to gain market share, the money flows back to you. So even though I don't get the credit, I get it back if it's run by a good operator in the form of credits, right, and
right,
better services, which
right.
which is what I want. So that's where I'm going because this episode we're talking to business owners, and so as a business owner, there's tax incentives for you to build businesses around this stuff
Right.
currently.
And you're right, Tesla's does provide incentives. I think that's what business owners should be doing, like provide incentives through the form of credits, especially for things like to build, to grow your energy. Um, and I guess I'll embarrass myself and say everything I had read said had been taken away. However, if there's these wonderful investment tax credits out there, and since obviously know about them, I want you to be able to speak more to them than I can. So.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and I'm not the expert, so I'm going off what I read in my research for the panels, talking to the different people, right? And they were very confident. I didn't go read the tax code, but what I'm saying is that the savings passed on to me. I made the right moves navigating the market, and it passed on to me. So I'm going
Yeah,
somebody getting money
exactly.
somewhere so they can pay me these credits.
Exactly. And you're right. Tesla, any good CEO wouldn't do this just because they feel like it. There has to be some motivation. So you're right. There's a tax credit out there that can incentivize them to give you like the better service. So
Yep, yep. And here's somebody once asked me, Philip, it was about taxes, and I was going, hey, listen, the good tax structure is not good or bad. Again, it's like the body, it's incentivizing. And so I was like, if you follow it right, is to me, it's not about like not paying taxes, right? It's about building a community, right? So I more think of spending like, all right, I want to save 20% for our future old selves. Then the 80% I want to spend into the community, right? I want to support my local podcast studio. I want to support my local CPA. I want to, in African culture, we call them blessings, right? I want to bless the local baker, right? I want to bless the government. Like if the government is providing services that are keeping us safe and secure with infrastructure, I want to bless the government. If they're not, I want to save the taxes and I want to use that to maybe run a business that's going to bless in the way that I
right.
want to bless. I want to give it to a nonprofit, right? So I think the point of this and the energy independence is just teaching tax structures are neutral. You got to learn to read them, speak the language, right? Let go of your biases about how you feel about taxes, right? And
Oh, I
and
believe
get the
everyone
money.
has the same bias. We don't like them.
Right, right. That writing that check is painful. Oh,
Yes,
sweet.
exactly,
But
exactly.
try to reframe it and go, all right, I'm writing this check because I'm supporting the local people that work for the government, that do the work, that make sure that, we got the infrastructure we need. A lot of it is wasted. That's fine, but it's getting better.
It's getting better. So, yep, I very much
Uh,
agree. Um, let's see. The next question was how to
depreciation, yeah.
depreciation. This one I can speak to, and especially with the one big beautiful bill, the one great thing I think they did right was giving bonus depreciation to business owners. That's a great incentive to have you invest. That kind of goes back hand in hand with the credits that you were talking about. Um, you can invest in equipment that could, in case cases, be solar panel or based off of or energy generated based off of solar panels. So this is a great way to incentivize me to, put back into the economy and to my in society to help um, things get better. So I think it's a great one.
Look, and here's the next question. And you said you didn't know this, but in my research and I put this together. This is what I found. Right, it was like, can a regular local business use the same advanced legal structures that big boys use?
Yes, you
And
can. Yeah.
yeah, and one thing that I learned was you can like create a separate company to own your energy equipment and then lease it back to your business, which protects you from liability and plays the tax bracket beautifully. Again, this was my research.
No, I
I'm not a
this I was going to say this is absolutely a perfect. There's lots of a myriad of ways you can do this. Heck, you could even do that with like your employees. I mean, if you want to count power employees, your business is, powered by employees. You can, again, liability, and it does work well with the tax bracket. So that's a wonderful idea that you brought up.
and I liked it because you separate it out and then you're like, I got this business and I got a power generation business. So if I sell this business, I can still own the power gener. I can be John D. Rockefeller, and that's been a dream of mine for a long time. Being old John D.
Exactly. 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 I actually have to say this is a beautiful idea. Again, your attorney will like it because you're separating the liability. Your clients will like it because you by through leasing conceivably you're able to provide better, quicker, more efficient service. You're also able to provide, better value, bang for the buck, and then you selfishly generate by or benefit by having lower tax brackets
Yeah, yeah,
to worry
yeah.
about.
I might do a whole episode because I was going down the path of, with these structures, you can take on the risk. You can transfer the risk to like this example, Tesla, for managing your sell back energy, or you can have the manage risk, or you can manage it. But then those who are managing it properly, they're getting like checks at the end of the year with no energy bill. And I was like, well, then you can put that on your balance sheet and you can build Bitcoin. I was like, you can build a whole business around doing this properly. So it's an exciting journey I'm on. I love this kind of stuff. Anyway, let everybody know how they can help, how they can reach out to you if they want to sit and talk to you about how to make their business more efficient, more strong, more foundationally, structurally better.
Oh my gosh. I'd say buy cement. Um, but you can reach me at my website, rightcpa.com, or you can email me at info@rightmartinaccounting.com. And I think I really do like your idea of the legal structure separating into various entities. It is a wonderful tax strategy.
Thanks. I try.
You succeed.
Have a good one.
Have a great day.
Philip Washington Jr. is a registered investment advisor. Information presented is for educational purposes only and does not intend to make an offer or solicitation for the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investments involve risk and, unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Be sure to first consult with a qualified financial advisor and/or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.